Welcome back to the Bourbon Note, everybody. I'm Ben. I got a budget-friendly bourbon banger on the bar tonight. Let's get into it. So on the bar tonight, I've got, bam, this is Rebel Small Batch Reserve. So this one, unfortunately, falls into the not available in Minnesota category of bourbons, which I don't know why. I don't really understand that. We get plenty of other Rebel products here, but for some reason, not the Small Batch Reserve. But this one is 110 proof, right? Yeah, 110 proof banger. From what I can tell, the MSRP on this is like $30 to $35. So I would definitely consider that budget friendly. I have had this once before. I got a sample from Troy and Laura over at Baker Drinks. They kind of swear by this one, if I remember correctly, as being a great budget option. And from what I remember of it, I agreed with them. And on the nose, it's got an excellent nose. If you like wheated bourbons, which this is, this has a noticeable wheat note to it. Very sweet. There's a little bit of oak presence on there, but a lot of wheat and caramel on the nose. Almost a little bit of, there's something a little bit fruity as well, or something like that. There's, oh, you know what this is kind of giving me? A little bit of the pink bubble gum, which happens on wheaters sometimes. You know, like the pink Big League Chew, or like the bubble tape, like the pink bubble gum that has like the white powder on it. I'm getting a little bit of that kind of sweetness off of this. And I'm here for it. Let's get into the palate. Cheers. That's, yeah, that's great. I really like that. Definitely the sweetness from the nose is there on the palate as well. The palate kind of has a little extra to it though. It's got a little bit of like, almost like some barrel char, but maybe leaning into almost kind of like a burnt sugar sort of spice to it. Or not spice, but like a, I don't want to say bitter in a bad way, like, but there's a little bit of like a bitterness to it, but in a good way, like that kind of burnt sugar sort of flavor. But yeah, all that nice, like the wheat notes from the nose and the caramel and the sweetness, and even that pink bubble gum, all of that transferred to the palate, but then that kind of charred barrel burnt sugar showed up and just, I think, really complemented it nicely, kind of rounded the whole thing out. This thing is, yeah, for 110 proof bourbon at $30 to $35 that actually tastes this good, absolutely, this would be a shelfer for me if I had access to it here in Minnesota. Now, I'm only about an hour away from Wisconsin, so I can go over and grab some if I feel like making a drive. But yeah, definitely this is one I would keep on the shelf. Again, I'm not sure why Rebel doesn't distribute this particular product to Minnesota, but hopefully they start doing so because this is really good. Let's go in for the second sip. I'm noticing on this one also is on the finish, it's got a decent finish to it. It's got a decent lasting finish, but there's a little bit of like black pepper and vanilla. And so I think that kind of burnt sugar and barrel char kind of gives way to like a black pepper sort of spice on the end, and there's a little bit of that kind of like waxy, like artificial vanilla, like zebra cake vanilla. You guys probably heard me talk about that before. A lot of times I get that on ryes actually, but sometimes it shows up on a wheated bourbon, I guess. So speaking of wheated bourbons, by the way, I know that, you know, Maker's Mark is the easy comparison, being kind of like the wheated bourbon. Maker's Mark has its own unique flavor profile that kind of sets it aside. But if you do like a wheated bourbon, you know, a cask strength Maker's Mark, I think the regular cask strength, around here you can get it for around 40, 45. But then if you start getting into any of the other, you know, like the stay finish ones, they get pretty expensive pretty quickly. But this one being at 110 proof, that's typically where the Maker's products kind of run, you know, cask strength in that, you know, 108 to 111 proof. And so you know, this is a good, slightly less expensive alternative that if you, again, if you like a wheated bourbon, but you don't particularly love the maker's profile, this is a great option. I think that this one, especially if you can get this around the $30 price point, that's a steal. That's just 100% recommend on that for sure. So yeah, really good. Overall, this thing is just really, it's nice and sweet, but it's well balanced. It's got its spice to it. It's got those underlying fruit notes. It's got a little bit of everything. And at the 110 proof, I feel like all the flavors are there of 110 proof, but it doesn't, I don't know, I feel like it drinks a little bit easier than that. It's a little more approachable, but it doesn't drink less than 110 in flavor. I just feel like it has like a nice, easily approachable sort of palate to it.
Wow.
Anyway, let's get into the final sip. Yeah, just an overall absolutely solid bourbon. Total recommend. I would love to hear you guys' opinion on this because I don't know what the distribution of this is. I know obviously they have it out in Washington because I got this originally from Troy and Laura. So I don't know if this is, you know, available in most places, and Minnesota is just kind of a, you know, on an island with not having this one available. But, you know, let me know if this is available in your area, if you've tried it, if you haven't. If you have this available in your area for around the $30 to $35 price point, I would absolutely 100% pick up a bottle of this. It's totally worth it. But yeah, if you have had it, let me know what you think about it. And Rebel products in general, I want to explore Rebel a little bit more because even like the Rebel 100 at like 18 bucks or something, I actually like that. I think I've only had it the one time, but I wouldn't hesitate to pick up a bottle of that if I just wanted a budget-friendly sipper. And so I think I'm going to definitely check out some more of their products. Their single barrels are really good. So yeah, let me know, folks. What do you think of Rebel as a brand? This has been Rebel Small Batch Reserve on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. See you on the next one.